This is Rusky Ed, and welcome to lesson number 24 on Russian nouns.
You want to learn Russian, but you think it's too tough, too confusing, and all that stuff. Funny looking letters, what's that you said? It's time to learn Russian with Rusky Ed.
In this lesson, we talk about things that can be found in the typical yard, like around your house or something. Now, in the last lesson, we talked about some things such as trees and bushes and grass, which are contained in many yards. Today, we're going to continue on with more things that can be found in a yard. Now, first of all, the Russian word for yard is zvor. And around your typical zvor, you'll find a zabor many times at least. And zabor is the Russian word for fence. So we have dvor for yard and zabor for fence. Now, of course, in many backyards, you have little cement walkways or paved walkways. The proper word in Russian for a walkway such as this is trottoir. Now, this word trottoir can also be applied to sidewalks, like the sidewalks that you might find outside your house, going along the streets, that kind of thing. Trottoir. Many people use rocks to help decorate their backyard. And the Russian word for rocks is kamyen. Kamyen. And along with rocks, sometimes people will use some sand in various ways, especially in play areas for children. And the Russian word for sand is pisak. So rocks and sand may also be found in backyards, and the word for rocks is kamyen, and the word for sand is pisak. And as long as we're talking about rocks and sand, we should probably also talk about gravel. Now, this is an extra word that's not on our list to learn this week, but it's a little bonus that Rusky Ed's throwing in for his students. Now, the word for gravel in Russian is gravy. Gravy, not gravy, gravy. Now, of course, most people have plants in their yard, and of course, obviously, plants need water. And to deliver that water to your plants, many people will use a hose. And the Russian word for hose is shlang. So you go around watering your little plants with your hose, otherwise, of course, known in Russian as shlang. Okay. It is now time for the phrases. And today, we're going to have two very short little phrases which can be put together into a short little conversation. If someone comes up to you and says, "Что нового?" what they're asking is, what's new? And if nothing's new, you might just say, "Ничего," which of course means nothing or nothing much. And so we have a little conversation here. Someone comes up and says, "Что нового?" and you say, "Ничего," and there you go, the start of a conversation right there in Russian. And this has been Rusky Ed at the end of lesson 24. It is now time to sign out and say, "До свидания."
It's time to learn Russian with Rusky Ed.